Sophie Cunningham said nobody likes us about the Indiana Fever, and the player voting returns for the WNBA All-Star game don't exactly dispel that notion, because Caitlin Clark received the most votes overall, like captain on the team alongside Nafisa Collier. Another starter, Aliyah Boston, was right behind them in votes, yet both Clark and AB were ranked 9th by the players in guards and front court, respectively. Now, Caitlin Clark has missed some games, so you could make that argument. But at the same time, she's been extremely productive when she's out there, and she's guarded unlike anyone else in the league. Meanwhile, AB has been super efficient, so I see no reason to penalize her. There are fans out there online who say it's Fever versus everybody, and when they see this voting, it's only going to fuel that notion. So that's what you have when you get down to it. I mean, I don't know how else to really spin it, especially when you see some of the players that are voted above them in this and that wind up ranked higher. And of course, with the narrative around Caitlin Clark in the past. Let's take a look at the actual voting returns. You can see it for yourself. Here is the voting. Paige Beckers, fan rank 2, media rank 5, player rank 4, meaning she was well ahead of Caitlin Clark when it comes to the player ranks. Caitlin Clark, fan rank 1, media rank 3, player rank 9. That's a huge jump from just the media rank to the player rank. Sabrina Ionescu, 5, 2, and 2. Alicia Gray, the fan, she gets the opposite treatment. Should have been higher, but was number 1 by the media and the players. Shout out to her. She deserves that high ranking. Kelsey Mitchell, media rank 11th, getting no love from the media. Skylar Diggins, not as much love from the fans, as you can see. Kelsey Plum is another one. Like, look at her player ranking way down there. And then Brittany Sykes was ranked, ahead of Caitlin Clark. Natasha Cloud ranked well ahead of Caitlin Clark. Those are, that one is going to make people go, really? Yeah, I know she's on a good team, but still. And then there's the Aliyah Boston aspect of it, because you can't say Aliyah Boston, hasn't been in the lineup. And the media also had AB low. I mean, it's a crowded front court. Don't get me wrong. Look, I mean, you look at some of these players out there. Neko Ogwumike only 9th amongst the fans. Gabby Williams 10th amongst the fans. And Gabby Williams has had a terrific season. Alyssa Thomas, you could argue, is the biggest snub amongst the starters overall. An MVP candidate who's not up there. But nonetheless, Aliyah Boston leads the league in field goal percentage. She, is scoring, rebounding, doing everything out on the floor. It doesn't really make sense for her not to be higher, in my mind. That is the thing that is going to catch some people off guard or turn some heads, if you will. And, Caitlin Clark is now listed as questionable for the Commissioner's Cup game, by the way. So that is a good sign for the possibility that she could play in the next game coming up for the Fever. And Caitlin Clark has a huge burden on her shoulders when she's out on the floor. I mean, if you look at some of the numbers, her baskets are unassisted more than any other player in the league. You can click the link on the description for some of the info on that, as well as this story. But, that is not it's still a common theme that she has to create more for herself. But point being is she's creating more for herself and everyone, right? She is doing more to make offense happen than any other player in the league. That's where Ari McDonald can hopefully come in and assist, quite literally and figuratively, because the number is even worse than it was a season ago. And that's where you hope that can pick up the pace for the Fever. I'm very, very encouraged by what that tandem can look like. That's what Sue Bird brought up the other day. But the tandem of Caitlin Clark and Aliyah Boston has worked well, to the tune of both being named All-Star starters. So none of that voting changes the fact, because it is 50% fan votes, it is 25% media votes, and it is 25% player votes. So AB and Caitlin Clark are both starters on the All-Star team. Caitlin Clark is going to be a captain on the All-Star team. None of that changes. But at the same, in the same token, it's going to make people look a little sideways. Like, come on, for real? This player who is so popular, has done so much, draws so much attention defensively, has put up so many numbers. And again, the argument can be she missed games. Like, I can buy that argument as why you would rank her lower than some other players. Like, that is a reasonable argument. But then AB's there too, and both are there. That's where it's a little tougher. And if it was just a blind ranking, of course, it would be more furious for Caitlin Clark to be at 9th. Now it just feels like par for the course. As far as the captaincy, this is what Caitlin Clark said about how she's going to choose up her team.
I figured a couple of familiar faces in the All-Star roster from some of your teammates.
Yeah.
Have you already gone through that process? Do you expect some gift baskets from some of your teammates that didn't be there in the roster?
I mean, obviously I'm going to try to get my teammates on my team. Why wouldn't I? That's obviously the goal. And, once they come out with whoever has made it and whoever hasn't, I guess I get to pick and choose. I don't really know how it works. I guess I just found out 2 hours ago, but obviously my first goal will certainly be able to have my teammates on my team. So
that could be the format. Last year it was, the revenge tour of Caitlin Clark against the Olympic team and all the players who didn't make the Olympic team against them. This year, it could be Fever versus everybody. That'd be a good theme in Indianapolis. Just let all the Fever players who make it. I don't know who else is going to make it necessarily. We saw Kelsey Mitchell should be there, obviously. Lexi Hull, to be honest, has a case in my mind. There are only so many spots, of course. But, that would be a funny bit if she can stack as many Fever players on her squad as possible. But it just continues that theme of, players not liking, hating, whatever you want to say about Caitlin Clark, hating on in this case. You could make that case. Though, again, there is at least an argument. But regardless, when there are certain players who I just don't think you can have above Caitlin Clark, even if you're taking that into account. And to see the disparity for her between the fans and the media and the players is interesting. The AB aspect of it, the media aspect of it is a little intriguing to me. Is it because she didn't play as well with Caitlin Clark out? I'm not sure why the media vote would be as low, or, because of the great players in the front court, like Fee, like Asia. Perhaps that is the case. Nonetheless, both Caitlin Clark and Aliyah Boston will be heading to the All-Star game. They will be participating at Gamebridge. They will be starters. Caitlin Clark will be a captain. And when it comes to the Commissioner's Cup, the latest on that is Caitlin Clark is listed as questionable, which I take to be a good sign about her possible availability to possibly put on a show against Collier, the Lynx, and company. We shall see. But until then, I know she did the Ring camera commercial. Sophie Cunningham's comments kind of ring true.